What's going on, YouTube? This is Andy the Parrot Picker, coming at you with a January end of the month sales update. And I'm going to do my Sweet 16, some of my favorite items that I had sold over the past month. I'll give you 16 items that I did pretty awesome on, and just some of the things that I really enjoy selling and I do well. I'm going to share those with you guys, and I'll go over my numbers and everything for what we did for the month. Excuse me, of January. I know a lot of you guys like to see actual hard numbers and stuff like that, not just the people that's like, oh, I made X dollars and blah 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 blah. So I'll show you all my hard numbers, my actual numbers, what I spent on stuff, my actual cost per item, fees I paid, and everything like that, and where I ended out for the month. Those of you guys who are new to my channel, I'm a part-time eBay reseller. I do have a full-time job. I work Tuesday through Friday, 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, which is kind of nice. So I get 3-day weekends every week. But I am pushing pretty hard to, I would love to do this full time, but at the moment right now I'm trying to put one of my daughters through a private college, and it's quite expensive. So this is definitely helping to offset some of that expense. So anyway, yeah, we'll jump into it. I'll show you my spreadsheet where we're at with all of that. And like I said, if you're new to my channel, you guys like this stuff, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Appreciate that. And, if you got questions or comments for me, what have you, leave them in the comment section below. That'll be, I'm pretty good about getting back to everybody. So anyway, that all being said, we'll jump into it, and we'll show you where we're at for month of January. Okay. So here's my spreadsheet I use. This is compliments of Lindy Glenn. You guys can check that out. She makes this available for free. I did do some modifications to it. I believe this column B here, I'm not sure what else she had in there, but I changed this to actually where I purchased my items from. So I used GS I picked it up at a garage sale, GW for Goodwill, SA Salvation Army. You guys get the idea. And then this here, in the C column here, that's where I just copied my eBay listing, so I can click on it, go right to the listing. It has all that information there. And then, we've got the, let me scroll up here just so, there you go. Now you can see, I didn't have that scroll far enough. Then you can see, these are the gross sales, what I ended up getting out of the items. Fees, you can see pretty much how everything all breaks down. And then I think I changed another one of these columns as well. Might have been item profit, actually, like what I think I changed that one. But it's still basically her main spreadsheet. She did a great job. I give all props to her for putting all the hard work on that. I love it. It's definitely better than what I was using, and it's helping me keep track of things a lot better. So, now that said and out of the way, this is where we sold 96 items over the past month, so that wasn't too bad. We hit almost 100. I was pretty happy with that. I did 27, 64, 75 gross. That's a nice number. I was definitely happy with that. But unfortunately, that's not what I put in my pocket at the end of the month. If we scroll down here just a little bit, let me see if I can scroll down here. This is what I spent on everything. I spent $333.74. That was my out of pocket for those 96 items for the month, to get that $2,700 gross. But by the time you throw in your eBay fees, that horrible $248 there, another $80 to PayPal, and an additional $20-some there. Got almost another $350 just in fees. I spent about $425 in shipping. So yeah, it just all starts chipping away at that big number. So by the time everything's all said and done, it ended up leaving me with $1,600.51 for the month. Now that's what I actually got to put in my pocket after everything was all said and done. The net number, that's the number you guys want to pay attention to. This is that's the important one. Now obviously, I got to pay taxes on that part, but still, $1,651 out of $333, not a bad return on investment. So I went a little bit farther. This L column here, that's something I also added to Lindy's spreadsheet. It just makes things a little nicer for me and easier for me to track. I can quick look at this, and gives me a better breakdown. So anyway, my average sale price per item was $28.80. That's actually pretty good. I know a lot of other resellers out there, they're all about the quick flip and what have you. So they'll sell stuff a lot less. Since I do this part-time, I need to achieve a little more return on investment for my items. So I like to sell a little higher dollar items so I can make a little more money on the stuff I sell. I try to push the $30 range. As long as I'm between 25 and up, I'm pretty happy, but I definitely try to stay about $30, so I'm pretty darn close. And then when I divided that all out, that actually equaled $3.48 per item is what I spent. So not too bad, considering, I do mostly clothes. And clothes at my thrift store on average are $3.99. So if I could stay under the $4 mark, I'm very happy with that as well. So anyway, yeah, that's my spreadsheet. I know a lot of you guys, like I said, like to see actual hard numbers, where everybody's at. And what your actual potential is. And like I said, I do this part-time, so it's just, everybody, a lot of people ask me, how do you find time to do all this with working a full-time job? You work 10 hours a day, blah, 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 plus, driving, plus all your family stuff. There's a lot of free and available time during the week that, people just kind of, I think, lose track of, just 15 minutes here or there, just sitting down watching TV, watching the news, doing whatever. It's time you could be listing, take a bunch of photos, write some notes, this and that. When you're sitting down in front of the TV, bang out a few listings, 2 or 3 here or there. It all adds up by the end of the week. You do just say 3 a day times, 7 days a week. You just did 21 listings. You know what I'm saying? And it all adds up really quick. So, like I said, that being said, let's jump into the good stuff. This is my Sweet 16, so I'm just going to call it. I like the way that it sounded because I just happened to notice I had 16 items up there. Maybe I'll just kind of stick with 16 when I do this next month. Just some of my favorite things that I sold over the past week and things that I do like to sell. Anyway, yeah, let's jump into it, guys. All right. First up, like I said, if you guys have watched me before, you guys know I love selling Lonneberger stuff. I know I'm a guy, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, Lonneberger stuff sells great. If you guys can get this stuff cheap, it always sells well, sells quick. I think I paid $3 or $4 for this, sold it for $30 plus shipping. It's like just a Father's Day basket, nothing crazy. It had, a liner protector and tie on, so all that stuff all adds value to it. It's just a regular, just checkers type basket. A really cool item there. Like I said, I love selling Lonneberger stuff. Pendleton wool, everything, and if you could find odd Pendleton stuff, always does well. I picked up this robe. I think I spent under $5 for this. I got $50 out of that. Plus buyer paid shipping, went a flat rate bubble mailer. Yeah, that was like I said, just really nice sale there. There's like some sort of tartan plaid, I think. But just a different Pendleton item. Like I said, yeah, Pendleton wool stuff sells awesome, and you can usually get some pretty good money for it. So here's one of my other bread and butter staple items I love to sell. I love to sell Harley button front, anything. This here is a corduroy shirt, so that's a little different. Like I said, if you can find it, just different stuff, that's the stuff that really goes. You could get some better money for it. Had kind of like these like ghost letters on the back, a big leather patch. Button snaps. This shirt sold in just a couple days. I got $50 out of that, free shipping. Typically, that's usually where I am on anything Harley button front, is in the $40 to $50 range. And honestly, on some things, depending on what they are, I don't even have a problem spending $10 on a Harley shirt like this, because I know I'm going to get some decent money out of it. Now, not all of it does that. It's just going to come with experience, but I know that there's certain ones that I can grab that I can definitely pull some pretty good money on. But I love selling Harley button front shirts. There's a nice return on that one there. These are Nike all climate gear snowboard pants. I actually sold 2 pairs of snowboard pants here over the past couple months. The other one was a pair of Burton pants. Burton's actually a better brand. I sold them both. They actually both came back because they just didn't fit. But I sold them. Actually, I jacked the price up on both of them, and I sold them immediately within like a day or two of relisting them. And neither one of them came back afterwards. So, yeah, these These snow pants were a great find this year. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for those for next year because they sold awesome. I believe North Face maybe makes some, and there might be another couple brands, but I do know for sure Burton is a really, really good one. But these here were Nike. So another great item to keep an eye out for is, the season goes along if you can get them really cheap. But yeah, I got $50 out of those, $54 out of those, and buyer paid shipping on them as well. So great return on that one. These here are Levi's silver tabs. I've started getting into jeans a little bit, expanding my my business away more from just the shirts. I've been picking up jeans and shoes and dabbling in suits, and that's definitely helping my profit margin for sure. I don't pick up jeans unless I can get them usually under. If I can get them for under $3, that's great. I really don't want to pay $5 for a pair of jeans. But these here were actually better ones, so I got $40 out of those, plus buyer paid shipping. Those did sell, relatively quick. So I was pretty happy with that score there. And these are silver tabs. Silver tabs are pretty desirable anyway. So yeah, nice little find there. This here is 511 Tactical. This is like a little packable jacket. I got $25 out of it. Not that was a good price, but I love selling 511 Tactical. This stuff, everything that I've bought in this I have not had anything last longer than a week in anything that I've bought in this line. From pants to shirts. Like I said, I saw this jacket. I picked this up. I think I paid $4 or $5 for the jacket. That's a little high, but it was super light, so I knew it would ship first class. Got $24.99 out of that, and like I said, it was gone right away. So nice find there. Definitely keep an eye out for 511 Tactical. Okay, I had these in a kind of like a bolo video or whatever. I did just a real quick one day. I run into these guys. If you run across this stuff, any vintage electronics, new sealed and packaged, always scan it, check it, look it up, do whatever. It's usually always worth money, especially Sony anything. Usually always really good. I picked this one up here, I believe, for $2. It was new sealed and packaged at my local Goodwill. You can see I got $149 out of that, and the buyer paid shipping. I sold it in less than 24 hours. Speaking of that, I think I got the other one. Yeah, this is the other one. I picked up the same day, new sealed. I got $125 out of this one. No, I took a best offer on this one for $100. And the buyer paid shipping on this. Sold this in less than 24 hours as well. This one here went to the global shipping program, so it went out of the country. Yeah, I mean, they both sold immediately. And like I said, I think I paid $4 for that one. So I had $6 total into a $250 return. So totally awesome. Yeah, I love finding and selling new sealed vintage electronics. Always do well. Yeah, that's what, if I could find interesting puzzles, and it's just something different, I don't mind picking them up because usually you can get them for $1, $2 tops. I can't remember if I got this at a Goodwill or garage sale. I'd have to look at my records. But yeah, I know I didn't pay more than probably $2 for this. I got $30 out of it, plus the buyer paid shipping. So, yeah, nice little return on a puzzle. It's just one of those things. It looks like I sold that on January 8th, so it's probably a Christmassy type of thing. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. These here are some of my favorite things to sell. I love selling LaserJet toner cartridges. If you guys just watched my last Making Money Monday video, I just sold I believe it was a Canon one for around $75. Just sold these two here the other day. These didn't go for as much. I got $50 out of those plus $10 shipping. But I only paid like $4 or $5 a piece for them. So and these are new sealed. Most of the HP ones, not all, but you can usually figure in the $75 to $100 range. They do amazing, but always look them up, check them before you go and sell them. Yeah, some of my favorite things for sure to pick up and sell, like I said, is the inkjet or LaserJet. I'm sorry, toner cartridges. Always do well. Like I said, started getting into some suits and blazers. Picked this up. I usually don't pay more than $5 for blazers and suits. It's just my, I want the most money I can out of them, so I can, try and price them right to move them, because suits do tend to sit for a little bit. But I did sell this one here for $54 plus $10 shipping. I ship all my suits in usually in a regional A box, because they usually come in at just under 3 pounds. I know a lot of guys ship them in the cardboard flat mailers. It's just hard for me to jam a blazer in there, and I think it looks tacky. It's my own personal opinion. When people buy suits, you're usually somebody professional, so I just try to take a little more care of my items, and I'm making my customer pay for it anyway, so it's it's shipping and handling. So and then I always I'll wrap it in a clear poly bag, and then put it in one of the flat priority A boxes, not the little square ones, but the long ones that looks more like a shirt box. So that's what I put those in. That way the sides aren't all bulging out and everything else, and it looks really nice. Typically those go for about $7. So I'm making a couple bucks, but I'm also taking my time to make my item look nice. And I think presentation is everything, especially when you're dealing with professional people. Okay, this one here's another one. I picked this up last week, but this is one of my favorite items. I've always been on the lookout for these. I never run across it, but this is the Ralph Lauren Polo Bear. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Cute little guy, right? I actually found this in a coffee mug in the same week, and I never run across these things. I broke my coffee mug. Ended up breaking the handle on it. I don't know how I did it. I don't know if it just had a little crack or something. I didn't see it, but when I was getting it ready to prep so I could take photos, I broke the handle off of it, so I was out on that one. But I ended up getting $45 out of this shirt. Great return on a used T-shirt. So yeah, you definitely can tell how desirable this is. I believe this sold in about 3 days, and I had around 150 some viewers and quite a few watchers on it. So it went relatively quick. Let's see what we got next. This here's just just your basic Ralph Lauren Polo classic fit shirt, but this is 3 extra large tall. So I love finding these. Ralph Lauren stuff's everywhere, but man, if you guys can find the talls, and especially talls in a big size, they always bring good money. You can see I got $40 out of that plus for shipping. And it's just a regular gingham check. You can see how long this shirt is. It's just a huge shirt, and this one was dry cleaned as well, so that definitely helps with the sale. But yeah, it's big men's sizes always do great, and you can get good money out of them. So definitely always looking out for those. I love to sell those. Ties, I pick up ties whenever I can find them. I always try to find interesting ties, but you don't always find the most interesting ones. But occasionally I run across. I love selling the Donald Trump ties, and everybody's political beliefs, views, and nonsense aside, Trump ties sell amazing for me. This is probably one of the cheaper ones I've sold. Typically, I sell them in the $24 to $35 range. They usually sell pretty quick. They're nice heavyweight ties. Just really, really nice items. And this one here, I think I had maybe 2 weeks. I try to do a good job with my presentation and stuff like that, and how I lay it all out. Just so you can kind of see it. I try to take up as much of the photo square and stuff like that as I can, so you can get all of it in there. But their ties are super easy to do. I think this is 4 photos. Yeah, just kind of a close up of the image, the one of the keeper, and then on the back side there. So just real easy, just bang bang bang. Ties are super easy, super quick, super light. So I do like doing them. They do typically sit around for a while, most of them, but for some reason the Trump ties always do very well for me. So I love selling Trump ties. Okay, I also started getting into some shoes. I've probably got around 10 pairs of shoes, 10, 12 pairs of shoes right now. I think I've sold about 3 or 4 over the last couple weeks. I think I sold maybe 3 last month. All of them for over $50. So that was great, and I don't think I spent more than 10 on any of them. I think I spent $5 on these. These here are Brooks Beast. It's kind of like a running shoe. The Brooks stuff does really well, and apparently the Brooks Beast is a pretty hot item. I had a ton of views on this thing. I got a lot of people were hitting me up at the $40 range wanting the shoes for that. But I had so many people I was like, you know what, someone's going to buy these shoes for what I put them up for. So I got $55 out of those, plus they paid shipping. And I put these in the priority shoebox. And I think they cost somewhere between about $6 and $7 a ship. So yeah, those are really nice. Like I said, kind of getting into shoes. It's just hard to find a nice pair of shoes for a little money. So those are, I'll run into them, but I don't want to pay $20 for a pair of shoes. I'm only going to make $30 or $40 on. So just kind of one of them deals. But if I can get a nice pair of shoes for, around $5 to $8 and I can make $40, $50, yeah, I'll jump on it. Let's see. Last but not least. Oh, okay. I got another, this here's another Pendleton blazer here. I just sold this the other day. What I get? $67 out of that, plus buyer paid shipping. Yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying selling the blazers. They're good money in them, and typically I don't have a lot into them, so it's just something new that I've been picking them up for quite a while. I just finally got around to listing them, and ever since I started listing them, they're selling. It's one of those things. Everybody's got all their death piles and piles of stuff, and it's fun to go out thrifting and shopping and picking up stuff and what have you, but you don't make no money on it if you don't have it listed. So it's sitting in a pile there. It's not making any money, guys. So get them death piles worked through, get all them all your racks cleaned up and bags emptied out and what have you, and start making that money. So yeah, anyway, guys, that was my Sweet 16, some of my favorite items I sold over the past month. That was my my sales update for the whole month. That was what I did for the month. Like I said, I did 96 items. Obviously, that wasn't, all of them, but just some of my favorite ones and some of the things I like to sell and I look out for. So, you guys keep an eye out for a lot of those things. They do well. It can bring some pretty decent money for you. And again, if you guys like this, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I love doing this stuff for you guys. I love hearing the comments. And that being said, leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you've got questions for me or whatever, I'm more than happy to answer those. And I don't know everything about everything, but I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. And if I don't know, I'll see if I can find out for you. So yeah, I think that's going to do it. That's my time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Fins up. Bye, everybody.